I'm Larry Menti. Welcome back to Jersey Matters. We are joined by the Assembly Budget Chair, Gary Schaer, Assembly person from the 36th District, Passaic County, Bergen County. So thank you again for being here. Let's talk about two possible revenue streams for the state, including casinos in North Jersey. There's going to be a referendum on that. If you go by the polls, it is going to pass. What would that mean for New Jersey?
Well, I think that for the area, the North Jersey area that will be immediately covered by those casinos, there will be construction jobs, there will be jobs at those casinos. Certainly that reflects an economic boost to the area. There will also be revenue, although one needs to be very circumspect in terms of exactly what kind of revenue we will be encountering from those casinos. The reason I say that, of course, is because in Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, we have established and soon to be established casinos as well.
But doesn't this keep it in state? I mean, people are more likely to go one closer to their home.
One would assume that one would go more likely to one's home, but there are other factors that come into play as well. I don't think that we would suggest, for example, that we're going to capture 100% of the marketplace. How much revenue and how many attendees we can gather, for example, from New York City, from other surrounding areas will really be key and fundamental to the issue. One of the casinos, for example, has spoken already about taking a world perspective in terms of inviting guests from other countries who would come and participate and be a major portion of the casino itself. There would be certainly significant revenue, we hope, that would be generated in addition to the jobs created both in construction.
Is the tax rate of 40 to 60% true? Is that what you're looking at?
I think that we're looking at any number of different possibilities, and I don't think that we have any resolution to those possibilities as of yet. There is concern that some of those revenues would necessarily have to be directed to Atlantic City, which has faced its own number of issues, as we're all very, very well aware, including over 8,000 people having lost their jobs as a result of casino failures, job retraining, basic public safety. So a significant portion of the revenues coming from those casinos would necessarily be going to Atlantic City, although as one is very well aware also, we have needs in other areas of the state besides Atlantic City as well. So there's a lot of discussion there which needs to take place, but I know that the Assembly Speaker, the Senate President, and the Governor are active in discussion and negotiation. The Speaker has laid out some very clear determinations from his point of view, which the Assembly is supportive of.
Let me ask you about a possible gas tax. Extremely unpopular, and yet we've been doing this show now for a year, and I saw a shift. I hear Republicans now saying we may need a gas tax. I hear the president of the Chamber of Commerce, who was against it a year ago, now saying we need a gas tax. It's getting to the point where it sounds inevitable.
I would suggest we reached the point of inevitability some time ago, but it is only now that we're confronting that reality. The governor in his various budgets had proposed a certain amount of pay-go, revenues collected from the various toll roads to pay for the tax. As it stands right now, all of the revenue generated by the various toll roads and bridges, et cetera, now goes simply to pay the debt of the Transportation Trust Fund, so that effectively on June 30, we run out of money and we run out of a source. If you're going to have a vibrant and robust transportation network in this state, which is vital and critical to its economic development and need, you need a source of funding. And I think that so many of us have concluded that there is no choice but to proceed in some sort of a gas tax.
You say some sort.
The question, of course, would be the extent of the gas tax, the cost. And right now, when gasoline is costing $1.80 or $1.70 or $2 versus what it was just a year or two ago, around $4, we're seeing a certain appetite by people to finally solve the problem.
25 cents, that's what I'm hearing. 25 cents a gallon?
We're hearing 25 cents, we're hearing less, we're hearing more. The issue is, what does it take to reach that critical $1.4 billion figure, which is then matched by the federal government?
Head of the Chamber of Commerce said if it's anything less than 25 cents, it's no good. It won't do anything.
Appreciating the President's remarks, and he is extraordinarily bright and sharp. My number is frankly a little bit higher. I'm anxious to solve the problem. I'd also like to see a cost of living adjustment on that amount on an annual basis. And I'd like also to see some concern for those people who will be most affected, the poor, who will be impacted more than those of us with greater means.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here today. Assemblyman Gary Schaer, the chair of the Budget Committee, who right now has to get back to work. Jersey Matters continues in just a moment.